In my 20s, I spent 2 hours in the gym 5 days a week only to look like this. But these days, things are a little different. I only train 3 or 4 hours a week. I eat over 3,000 calories a day. I'm about to turn 38 and I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't have a crazy routine. I don't spend hours on the treadmill, and I certainly don't follow any strict meal plans. Just a simple system that's sustainable and, more importantly, actually works. Because even though for most things in life, being lazy is a shortcut to failure, when it comes to building an aesthetic body, less really is more. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. It's about quality, not quantity. And most importantly, it's about leverage, finding the small things that make the biggest difference. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I got in the best shape of my life by being, well, quite literally lazier. I think the real problem is most guys my age and older are still copying fitness influencers they see on social media. But these guys are in their early 20s. They don't have a full-time job and they don't have kids. Training is their job, so they can sleep for 10 hours, train for 2, then nap and meal prep for the rest of the day. If you try and copy them, your lower back gets tight, you're permanently tired, and the scales don't change unless you starve yourself. But as you get older and once you've built a base, your body doesn't need punishment. It needs precision. And that's where the idea of leverage comes in. This is the one shift that changed everything for me, because for years, I equated hard work with results. That's what we're taught in school, right? If a session wasn't brutal, I thought I'd wasted it. If I didn't leave the gym feeling completely ruined, I told myself I'd slacked off. But the results, well, you've seen for yourself, they were pretty average. I looked like I trained, but nothing special. Worse still, I felt knackered and my progress was basically completely flatlined. So then I started asking a different question. Instead of how hard can I go, I started asking, what gives me the biggest return on my efforts? If I only have 3 to 4 hours per week, where should I put those hours so they create the biggest change in how I look? And that is literally what leverage is, choosing 1 or 2 actions that move the needle the most and letting everything else become optional. It's doing fewer things better. It's cutting the fluff. It's swapping exhaustion for effectiveness. So when I say lazy, I don't mean careless. I mean ruthlessly efficient. I stopped wasting effort on things that didn't matter and I doubled down on the things that did. And that one shift is why I can train less, eat more, and look better at nearly 38 than I did at 25. But let's break this down into 3 pillars so you can actually take what I'm saying and apply it to your own life. Pillar number 1 is all about your training. So first and foremost, you want to be focusing on doing fewer exercises properly. And to do this, I recommend you run an 80-20 split, where 80% of your volume comes from compound lifts that hit multiple muscle groups at once, leaving 20% to come from isolation work that essentially polishes your weak points. In most sessions, I'll pick 2 to 3 big compound moves that give me the most visual return. Think some sort of press and a row or a squat and a hinge. Then 1 or 2 accessories to round out those weak points. I'm not hopping between 10 machines to chase the pump. I'm putting intentional, focused work into a handful of lifts that actually sculpt the shape I want. Then per exercise, aim for 3 high-quality sets. You want to be living in mostly the sort of 6 to 12 rep range and rest longer than you think. I'm talking 2 to 3 minutes on the big lifts. That's enough to build strength and muscle, but controlled enough to keep your joints happy. Because I would rather have 1 honest near-failure set than do 5 that are completely forgettable. You're chasing tension, not momentum that throws the weights around and completely cooks your joints. Third, constraints. I train 3 or 4 days a week and my sessions are roughly 45 to 60 minutes. That time limit is a feature, not a bug. It forces me to focus. So if I've got 6 sets left and I've only got 15 minutes, I'm not messing around on my phone scrolling TikTok or posing in the mirror or chatting to birds. I'm cracking on. Fourth, I program with my recovery in mind, not my ego. So if my shoulder's tight, I swap the movement, not the goal. If my sleep's been rough, I'll bring the weight down because 1 session doesn't make or break it all. And lastly, track your workouts. I can't emphasize this enough, and here's why. Those niggling doubts we're all familiar with had started to creep into my mind last week. Am I even making progress? Is all this hard work really worth it? But seeing this blew me away. This is a screenshot from the app I use, and it's the same one I give my clients for their workouts. And this screenshot is showing the total volume I'm lifting in one of my workouts over the past few months. And I couldn't believe how much progress I've made in just the last 6 weeks. It was an important reminder that data is king, because without it, we rely on our emotions. We rely on how we feel, but those emotions, as we all know, often mislead us. And when that happens, we start to make bad decisions. It's normal for everyone, including someone like me, to feel like we're not making progress, to question whether it's worth all the hard work. But that's why it's so important to track, because whether it's your workouts, your food, your weight, your hydration, or your sleep, the more data you have, the faster you'll get the result that you want. By the way, if you want to find out how my 180-day total body reset program works and see if you're a good fit for it, just click the top link in the description. And if you are wondering about cardio, well, you can forget smashing those HIIT circuits or spending hours on the treadmill, because no one wants to do that, and you don't have to. Just walk. It burns fat, it reduces stress, and it doesn't steal recovery from your lifts. For most men, that is the most underrated lever that there is. You don't have to do them all at once, but if you set yourself a challenge of walking 10,000 steps a day for the next 30 days, you'll burn 5 pounds of fat just from that one change alone. Stack that with the 3 workouts we talk about every week and the nutrition plan I'm about to take you through, and you could easily double that. I'm talking 10 pounds in 30 days, guys. Anyway, let's talk about pillar number 2, which is your nutrition. And this is the part that shocks most guys. When I was younger, I did everything that everyone else does. I cut the calories hard. I went low carb. I lived on the chicken and rice and was there waiting for the magic to happen. And it did, to be honest with you, but I hated my life. My energy crashed. My sleep got worse. And even though I looked better, I felt more miserable than before. The point is, aggressive deficits do not work long term, especially for men over 40. You don't need to eat less though. You need to eat right. Food isn't the enemy. It's your engine. It's literally the thing that lets your body build muscle, burn fat, and keep your hormones in a healthy place. And that's what we should be optimizing for, guys. How we feel. Because how we look will come as a byproduct. But when you're permanently undereating, you're telling your body to conserve energy, not to spend it. And when that happens, your training quality drops, your NEAT, which is all the movement you do outside the gym, drops as well, your sleep quality drops, and your body responds exactly how it should by trying to keep you alive, not shredded. So I completely flipped this logic. Instead of trying to get lean by starving, I got lean by seeing my food as fuel. Now I eat over 3,000 calories a day, and I'm in better shape than ever been. Why? Because those calories are working for me. So here's how I think about it. Make your meals protein dominant by default. It keeps you full, it supports recovery, and it protects that lean muscle you've worked so hard to build. If I hit my protein, I know the rest is going to fall into place. Then carbs are like the rocket fuel for your training, but you need to be eating the right ones. So oats, rice, potato, fruit. I'm talking real single ingredient food that digests well and doesn't make you feel like a zombie. And then fats are important for your hormones. Yes, guys, we have hormones too. So think eggs, fish, and nuts. But whatever you do, don't drown everything in olive oil and avocados and call it keto. They're super calorie dense and you'll just stay fat. Then make sure you're hitting at least 30 grams of fiber per day to keep your gut health in check. Listen, I could do a whole other video about this one topic alone because it is so underplayed right now. In fact, leave a comment under the video if you want me to make that video. And then make sure you're keeping lazy staples on hand so that eating well doesn't require effort. Things like Greek yogurt or eggs are a great one. Milk, frozen chicken, good mince, tinned fish. These are minimal prep, but they give you max reward. And if your schedule is crazy, you don't need 5 or 7 tiny meals. Try 2 solid meals and a protein snack. That alone just cuts the decision fatigue. It saves you time and still lets you hit your calories with ease. Most important of all, though, when it comes to your food, I eat in a way that I actually enjoy, and so should you. I'll have pizza, I'll have chocolate, but most of my meals are built from the basics. I'm not counting every gram because now my body is metabolically optimized from months and years of consistency. And if you put some focus into this and get it right, the right foods, the right amounts, you won't need to track your calories in the long term either. Your appetite will become a reliable signal again, not a guess. And that's the goal. Eat more of the right stuff, train better, recover harder, look better. But listen, if you're like I used to be and don't know your ass from your elbow in the kitchen, what I'll do is I'll leave a link to my free anti-diet recipe book in the description under the video. It has 15 fat-burning meals that you can make in less than 15 minutes with simple ingredients. It's like a cookbook for chimpanzees. I am a rubbish chef, and if I can get this right, and so can you. So go ahead and grab that now. It's completely free. But this physique and yours would fall apart without the third and the most overlooked pillar, recovery. And within recovery, the real levers for men at our age are stress and sleep. But you've heard it a million times. Your friends say it, your doctor says it, and now every YouTuber's saying it too. Just manage your stress, bro. Yeah, no, mate. We're living in a stress pandemic though, and it's wrecking your body from the inside out. It elevates cortisol at the wrong time, which throws your hormones off and makes fat loss harder. It tanks your testosterone, which kills your energy, your drive, and your sex. And it ruins your sleep, which then ruins your recovery and ruins your progress. So here's what actually helps. Audit your inputs. Most of us wake up and give our nervous system a panic attack. Think about it. The alarm goes off, you grab your phone, and within 30 seconds, you're reading emails, looking at the news, scrolling social media. You're starting the day off in fight or flight. So what you want to do is leave your phone on airplane mode for the first 30 minutes of the day and leave it far enough from your bed that you have to get out of bed to turn the alarm off. Those two tiny tweaks will give you back control and give you back time. Now you can start your day calm, present, and in charge. Number two is you want to create micro resets throughout the day. Listen, you don't need a yoga retreat. You just need 5 minutes. So step outside, walk around the block, and most importantly, put on some 528 hertz music. This frequency has been proven to reduce cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and increase your happy hormone called oxytocin. You can find this music for free on Spotify, Apple, and right here on YouTube, by the way. And then number three is to treat your energy like a battery. So I want you to imagine that you wake up every single day with 100 units of energy. For every argument, every pointless scroll on social, every bit of drama drains units you can't get back. Most men's get through their battery by lunchtime and then wonder why they're snappy or unfocused and craving sugar. So protect your energy like it's a currency and learn to say no more. No to other people and no to yourself. And number four, build an evening shutdown routine. Your nervous system needs a wind down, not a crash landing. So 1 hour before bed, screens off, lights down, and read or listen to a podcast. Which brings me to sleep itself. And the best way to think of sleep is it's like free and legal steroids. Because you might be in a calorie deficit, but if you don't fix your sleep, that won't burn fat the way you want. And there's a brilliant study where they put two groups on the same deficit, which proved this. One group got to sleep 8.5 hours, lucky buggers, but the others were deprived and only got to sleep 5.5. Now, both groups lost the same amount of weight, but the good sleep group lost 55% more fat and only lost a little bit muscle. Same deficit, completely different outcomes. And it was all because of the sleep. But the goal isn't to necessarily sleep longer. I get that 8 hours straight isn't always realistic with work and kids. The goal is to improve the quality and the consistency of your sleep, because that is what supercharges your hormones, your energy, your mood, your productivity, and your physique, which is why we're here in the first place. So here's how I do it and how my clients do it too. What you want to do is start by locking in your wake up time, because your body runs on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour clock. And about 2 hours before you wake, your brain starts pumping cortisol through your body to prepare you to get up. Now, that's not bad. That's like your body's natural espresso. We want that. But if you wake up at different times every single day, that pulse is going to go off at the wrong time. You're going to feel groggy in the mornings, wired at night, and generally out of sync. So choose one wake up time and stick to it. And yes, even at the weekends. That habit is going to then retrain your hormones, and it's the simplest thing you can do to start feeling more human within a week. Then what you want to do is fix the first 30 minutes of your day. So keep the phone on airplane mode, like I said, get natural light in your eyes, sunlight if you can, bright kitchen lights if you can't, have half a liter of water with some electrolytes and protein and fiber in your breakfast. That routine is going to take you less than 30 minutes, but it sets the tone for the whole day. Then during the day, you want to follow two simple rules. Number one, cut caffeine out at midday. And when you finish work, take a decompression walk for 20 to 30 minutes. No emails, no doom scrolling, just a reset. What that's going to do is pull you out of fight or flight, so you then don't carry that work into the evening, and it's going to help you to relax. And then at night, keep your bedroom cold, dark, quiet, and comfortable. It's absolutely worth investing in a good mattress, blackout blinds or an eye mask, a fan if you need it, and earplugs if your street's noisy. This is the highest ROI investment you can make in your body. And if you do those basics for just 2 weeks, you're going to feel like a completely different man. This is the same protocol I follow, and my testosterone is at the top of the range. My energy is steadier now at nearly 38 than it was at 25. And strangers ask me what steroids I'm on, and they're actually annoyed when I say none, because it's sleep. So we've covered a lot there. Let's zoom out and put all this into an action plan that you can actually follow. Number one, pick 3 training days and lock them into your calendar like meetings you cannot miss. Focus on compound movements, train with intensity, and focus on mechanical tension and progression. Number two, eat like a grown-up, guys. Build your meals around protein, add carbs that fuel you, and fats that boost you. And number 3, audit your stress, guard your mornings, and start paying more attention to your sleep hygiene. If you're copying a 22-year-old influencer with no responsibilities, you'll either burn out or you'll stall. But if you live with leverage, you'll look like you train without having to break yourself to prove it. When you stop negotiating with your non-negotiables, your sleep, quality food, 3 good training sessions a week, the rest will fall into place. The real flex isn't being shredded for a holiday. It's still looking great at 40, 50, or even 60, with a body that works and a life you actually enjoy. I'm nearly 38, and I look and feel the best I ever have. Not because I'm special, not because I've got some crazy genetic advantage. I'm actually working harder than I ever have in my life as well, because I finally stopped trying to do everything and started doing the right things. And if you want my help putting all of this together into a personalized plan, then go ahead and click that link under the video to check out how my coaching program will help you conquer your inner bitch, become dangerously disciplined, and build a lean, strong body you're proud of in just 180 days. Peace.